Hello everyone, I'm back here again doing our NHL season preview. Yeah, and I'm back, yeah. Um, I'm not taking another month break. Um, I'm trying to get back into doing this on a more consistent basis and yeah, I just want to do this more consistently. I'm gonna give it a try. I want to say Happy New Year's to everyone. Uh, I should have like tweeted that or something last night, but I was at a party and I got really tired, so um but yeah, Carolina. Um, they're a team like New Jersey the other yesterday. A team that I thought was going to do better and fare better, but it's a division of death to Metro. If they were an Atlantic, I guarantee you they make the playoffs this year. And they still might make the playoffs this year, but it's still um it's just hard to call in this division because the Flyers are in last place, but they're only 4 points out of the playoffs, so it's different because Atlantic, but they have Buffalo in last, and they only have 29 points. They're like 15 points out. So it's cool to see the disparity in divisions, um, and how some are just stronger than others. Um, One knock on Carolina that I've noticed, and I don't know if it was like this last year, but this year I've noticed that they're weak at center, and I don't see the number one. They have two number twos, I think, in Jordan Staal and Victor Rask, and it wouldn't hurt to have Eric Staal here. But let's get in the lineup. I really like this team. They are, I think, 1 or 2 years away from being a serious contender. Um, they've got really good pieces, and it starts with the left wing with Sebastian Aho. Last year, 24 goals, 25 assists for 49 points. Almost scored 50 points his rookie year. That's good numbers out of him. He's good on the left side in the power play. He's a good player. He plays hard every shift. He has a great shot. One of the best wristers out there with Line A. You know how the Finns are with their wrist shots. He doesn't give up on plays. He tries 110% every play, and I really like that of him. And I think he's gonna be a superstar in this league. I think Carolina got a really good player when they drafted him. And then centering this line is Jordan Staal. He's not the same player he was when with Pittsburgh back in like 2012 back then. He's 29 now, so he's getting a little past his prime. He's getting up in the age where his points are gonna start to decrease a little bit. So last year Staal, 16 goals, 28 assists, 45 points. No, it's 44. Yeah, sorry, I wrote something down wrong. But that's still good numbers out of him, and I think he can get, if not the same, close to 50 points this year. Yeah, I just think he's all around great forward. And then on the right wing is Teuvo Teravainen, much like Sebastian Aho, same work ethic. I don't know why Chicago traded him. Chicago really like him back right now. Maybe him playing with the Brinkat, that'd be dangerous. But besides that, let's get back on track. Teravainen had 15 goals, 27 assists, 42 points. Teravainen's a great player, and he's good on the power play. He doesn't give up on loose pucks. He goes in on the board battles, goes in on the forecheck. He does everything right, and he's a good two-way player. I really like what he brings to the team. I really like this second line. It's not an overly talented second line, but it's much like the first line that it will work every shift, and It won't let you down. And credit to Bill Peters for getting his guys motivated and up for the games that like are lesser games that like really don't count. Like not playing down to a competition, like always waking up for the games every day. I really like Bill Peters as a coach. I think he's a good coach. I think he's saving Carolina. Second line, Brock McGinn. Last year, 7 goals, 9 assists, 16 points. That's where you can get Brock McGinn. Brock McGinn's never been a really big points producer, so don't expect 20 goals, 20 assists. That's about where you can get him. Maybe 10 goals, 10 assists. And then Derek Ryan, who's been in the Charlotte farm system and came up and has a shot. Last year he had 11 goals, 18 assists, 29 points. That's good numbers out of Derek Ryan. And I think maybe he can score upwards of 15 goals, maybe playing second line. That'd be nice to see of him. He's a good two-way player, and he was a good leader down for Charlotte in the AHL. He wore the C down there, so he has the respect of his coaches. And then on the right side's Elias Lindholm. Last year, 11 goals, 34 assists, 45 points. He's on the assist streak right now. And just Lindholm, he's his great vision. He dishes the puck to his players all around, and he's good in the power play. I really like what he brings to the team. And then, third line left wing, Jeff Skinner. Last year, 37 goals, 26 assists, 63 points. And he's playing third line. Was that a flash in the pan year for Jeff Skinner? We're finding out this year. Maybe he scores 30 plus this year. I know he's capable of it. And for forwards, I have 6 guys that are capable of scoring 20 plus goals in Aho, Skinner, Stahl, Rask, Teravainen, and Williams. Those are 6 players that can do it all for you. And I really like to see Skinner can do what he did last year for you guys. Skinner is great on the power play, has a great shot. He's a great leader. Just seems like a great guy all around on and off the ice. Seems like a good guy for all the young kids. And Victor Rask, who's molding into a good player for Carolina. Last year, 16 goals, 29 assists, 45 points. He's good for the second power play, and he's good in the PK. He's a defensively sound player, and eventually the puck starts going in for him. I've always liked Victor Rask as a player, and I always thought he could eventually turn around and score goals like Sean Couturier in Philadelphia, playing the right players. And Justin Williams, last year, 24 goals, 24 assists, 48 points. I like this acquisition. It brings veteran leadership into the locker room, and it just helps, Mr. Game 7. It would just help the young Carolina team just grow and develop. And then fourth line, this is a good, gritty fourth line too. Starts with Nordstrom. Last year, 7 goals, 5 assists, 12 points. Good numbers out of him. Much like Rask, he's a good two-way forward. He's defensively sound, and eventually puck goes in for him. Now, Lucas Wallmark got called up from the AHL. Last year, 24 goals, 22 assists for 46 points. That's good numbers out of him, and I expect probably 5-10 goals this year. Curious to see what he can do. And on the right wing, playing fourth line, is Josh Joris. Last year, 4 goals, 8 assists, 12 points. That's good numbers out of him, and that's what you're going to expect out of Joris. He's never been a big point producer like Brock McGinn, but he plays his heart honestly. He doesn't get bun any play, and plays 110% on every shift. And then move on to one of the best defenses in the Metro. So this was Slavin on the left side. Last year, 5 goals, 29 assists, 34 points. What can't this dude do? What can't this dude do? So I meant to say, sorry. I really like what he does at both ends of the ice. He has great hockey sense. He's big, not afraid to throw his body around, and he reminds me of Ivan Provorov in Philadelphia. Just a quick comparison. Had probably more potential to score, um, but just both defensively sound. Does make a lot of mistakes, and they look like they're 30 and they're only like 22. um, but Slavin and Pesci, this pairing's dynamite, and I expect it to be dynamite for years to come. And I could see them winning multiple cups together, much like Keith and Seabrook in Chicago. And then Brent Pesci last year, 2 goals, 18 assists, 20 points. You know, Pesci, sorry, it's on my throat. He's never been a big scorer, but much like Slavin, eventually a puck goes in for him. He plays good every game. If he plays defensively sound and doesn't give up any goals, it's a good night for him. He's a good all-around player. And then Klaus Dahlback, playing second line, lefty. Last year, 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points. Great on the PK. He's a good guy in the locker room, and he has experience. He's been around the league a long time. So, I like what he could bring to the locker room. And then Justin Falk, one of the best, reminds me of Eric Carlson almost, back at the point on the power play, and the power play runs through him. I really like to see what he gets this year. 17 goals last year, 20 assists, 37 points. He had good totals last year. Like to see what he can bring to the team. And then Noah Hanifin. Last year, 4 goals, 25 assists, 29 points. I've always been a big proponent of him ever since he was drafted, because he has the whole package. He's a complete player ever since he was drafted, and I think he's gonna be a stud. And you should feel lucky if you're a Carolina fan watching this. Trevor Van Riemsdyk he's paired with, who's a good player. He's defensively sound and allows Hanifin to take some chances offensively. Last year, Van Riemsdyk, 5 goals, 11 assists, 16 points. That's good numbers out of Van Riemsdyk. That's what you're going to expect out of him. Now, here's an area where everything got better for Carolina. Goaltending. It's better with Darling than Lack. No offense to Eddie Lack, but he always starts slow and picks up at the second half of the year. Scott Darling's been iffy at times, but I would say an improvement over Eddie Lack, just stats-wise. Also, I think Aho has avoided the sophomore slump. So far this year, he has 11 goals. Last year, he had 24. This team's capable of making playoffs, like I said in the beginning. I think they can steal a wild card this year. Like I said, I think the best blue line in the Metro, up near New Jersey. And there's a lot of playmakers on this team, but there's no like pure goal scorer, except for like Aho, I guess. You know, like in Winnipeg, you have Laine, who I think is a stud, but his shot just reminds me like Ovechkin. So he's like a pure goal scorer. Or like Stamkos, who's a pure goal scorer. But last year, Darling, 924 save percentage, 2.38 GA. That's good numbers out of him, and I like to see that he has a shot after what he did for Chicago. And I think he's a really good goaltender. And Cam Ward, backing him up, won the Cup with Carolina back in 2009, I think it was, and has 905 save percentage and 2.69 GA. That's good numbers out of him, and he's on a roll right now recently. I mean, his last 10, he's played really well. He's found his groove. Now, an interesting stat that I found that surprised me is Carolina's power play is 27th in the NHL. That surprised me. People like Aho, Teravainen, Lindholm, Rass, Stahl, Skinner, Falk, Hanifin, Slavin. Like, these are all players that can score. Like, it's really surprising that Carolina is struggling on the power play this mightily, and I don't know how you fix it. I mean, is it just bad luck, or is the puck eventually going to go in? I don't know. Will they even turn around? Well, last year they were dynamite on the power play, so let me know what you think down in the comment section below. If you're new, make sure you like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when my videos go live. I'm trying my best not to take, month breaks at a time now. So expect close to daily content on me now, guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again later, guys. See ya.